Hello guys, welcome. This is Deepika from mytutorialrack.com and I'm here with another interview question related to Java. So the question is, what is the difference between method overloading and method overriding? And you have to do an example to illustrate that. So this is the answer for it. What is method overloading? It is very similar to constructor overloading, in which within the same class, when you have couple of constructors with a different list of parameters or different type of parameters. In the same way, method overriding is when you have the same methods multiple times with the same name, but each of those methods have a different list of parameters or different type of parameters. That is considered as method overloading. It doesn't matter what the return type is. Return type does not take into effect in the case of method overloading. What is method overriding? Method overriding is basically when you are talking about a parent class or a child class, when you have a parent-child relationship, and if a method is defined in the parent class as well as the same method is defined in the child class with the same exact syntax, okay, with the same list of parameters, with the same type of parameters, it is called as method overriding. So now let's go ahead and understand the theory here. So in Java, method overloading is made possible by introducing different methods in the same class. So the main point to note here is it the same class consisting of the same name. So within the same class, when you have methods with the same name, so you can see here there is this class called overloading help, and you have defined a method with the name of find area. It takes in two parameters of the type integer, and within the same class you have defined the same method again, but this one takes three parameters of the type integer. This is called as method overloading. Okay, this is called as method overloading, and because it is happening in one particular class and with the same name but different type of parameters or with the different list of parameters. The only difference in the return type of the method does not promote method overloading. So when you are talking about different parameters for the return type, doesn't matter what the return type is. It should have the same list of parameters or different list of parameters with this different types of parameters. Okay. So in the case of method overloading, return type doesn't matter. All you have to make sure is either the list of parameters is different or the type of parameters is different. That calls it method overloading. So let me go ahead and give you an example here that I've created in my Eclipse here. So we'll go back to Eclipse, and in this case I have created a class called shape example. And in this shape example, all I'm doing is I have created a variable, instance variables called as calculate area. Okay, this is called cal area. This is what it is, an instance variable, and I have defined three methods in this particular class, which is going to calculate one for the area of a rectangle, other for the area of a square, and the third area is for the volume of a cuboid. Okay, so as you can see here, all the three methods has the same name. Okay, area, and area, and this one takes in two parameters of the type integer. This one takes in one parameter of the type integer, and this one takes in three parameters of the type integer. Now this is called as method overloading. Now what is going to be the output of this program? Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the main method here. So if you see here, the main method, inside of the main method, what we are doing, we are creating an object of the shape example class, which is nothing but the same class. And then we are saying sc.area, we are calling the area methods, but this will invoke a different method, this will invoke a different method, and this will invoke a different method. sc.area, and we are passing in one parameter of the type integer. So which method out of the three will be invoked? So in this case, it should invoke this method because we are passing in one parameter and this matches this. So the first line should be area of square. That is what it should get printed. This is number one line. Then you are saying sc.area 7, 8. Where is the method that takes in two parameters? This one takes in three, and we have a method that takes in two parameter, and that is on the top, which is this one. Okay, this becomes 1, and now this one becomes your number 2. This is going to be the one that will be invoked. So area of rectangle will be invoked. So first we are going to get area of square, then we are going to get area of rectangle, and the third one we have is sc.area 456. So you're passing 3 parameters. Which method matches? This is the method that matches. So this is your third one. So this is your first, this is your second. Okay, these are the way the methods will be invoked. Now let's understand the output of this. So if you see here, I'm calling in 7. So 7 area of square is 49. Then here it would be 7,8. Area of rectangle is 56. And then area of this, or volume of the cuboid, is 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. 20 multiplied by 6 is 120. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this and see if our matches. Okay, so you can see here, yes, first is 49, then is 56, and then is 120. So this is called as method overloading, which happens within the same class when we are talking about one class only. Now let's understand what is method overriding. Okay, so you can see here both the methods are there with different list of parameters. Even though the type is the same, this is called as method overloading. Now what is method overriding? Method overriding is the concept in which two methods having the same name with the same signature, means there is not a single difference in the parameter list or the type of the parameters. The name of the method is the same, but it is in the two different classes which are bound together with the help of inheritance. If there is a relationship between them, if there is a parent class and there is a child class, in the parent class you have defined a method, and in the child class also you have defined a method with the same name, with the same list of parameter, with everything same, that is called as method overriding. Okay, a particular method implementation already present in the base class, means in the parent class, is possible for the derived class by using method overriding. So they can redefine that method in the child class. That is called as method overriding. Now let's go ahead and understand with the help of the example. Okay, so for example here, actually rather than showing you this, I'm going to take you directly to my Eclipse and I'll show you what I have done for this one. So let's get rid of the shape example one. So here I have created 3 different classes. One is employee class, then the other one is full-time employee, and the third one is contractors. Okay, so employee class is acting as a parent for both these classes. Okay, so you have an employee class which is nothing but employee example, and then this is a parent for full-time employee. This is the parent class, employee is the parent class for this, and also I've created a class called contractors, and for this contractors also I have made it as my parent. Okay, so you can see here what I have done. So here you can see employee example is there. I have defined 3 variables: employee name, employee age, and type of the employee, and have a simple display method. And in this case, type of employee is unknown, but the employee name and employee age, whatever you're passing, that's what's going to get executed. Then similarly, if you go over to full-time employee, you can see here it extends from the employee class. So it has all those 3 parameters as well as the methods. Now what happens here is, here the type of employee changes to full-time employee. The same method, if you see, display method is defined here also, and also with the same list, exact same thing, string employee name, and this is defined here also. Now this is called as method overriding. So in the employee class you have a display method with the same syntax, with the same signature. In your child class, which is full-time employee, it also has the same display method with exact same parameters, exact same type of parameters also. And here the difference is, you are saying the type of employee becomes full-time employee. Similarly, in the contractors, which is a third class that you have created, and it also has a display method, and inside of this display the same exact display method is there, and this contractors also extends from the same parent, and here your type of employee changes to contract employee. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about the main method, the execution, how the execution will begin. So here what I've done is I have created 3 different employee. One is employee example emp is equals to new of employee. Then emp2 is full-time employee, and employee 3 is contractor. So the right side plays a very important role. Okay, Right side plays a very important role here. So now we are saying emp1 of display. Now which class display method it is going to invoke? This case emp1 is object reference is emp1, but it's the new employee. So from the employee example class, the display method will be called, and what will get printed on the screen? The things that's going to get printed on the screen for this one is going to be Deepika Khanna, okay, and here it is going to be 200,000, let's say, and then what is the type of the employee for this is going to be unknown. So which class method got called? This is for the main class, which is the employee example. That is what's going to get called. Then emp2.of_display. Here 300,000. Now what is emp2? emp2 is equals to new full-time employee. So full-time employee is going to get executed. So this one, it is going to say Sam Manuel, and then here we have the salary is 300k, and then what is the type? It's going to be full-time employee. This is going to be full-time. That is the class method that's going to get invoked. And then you have is the third one, which is emp3. What is emp3? emp3 of the type contractor. So the contractors display method will be called, and here it will print John Wick. The salary is 500k, and what is the type? Type is going to be contractors. You can see here, if I go back, contractors have the type of what? Type of the employee is contract employee, and this is going to be full-time employee. Now let's go ahead and run this and see if our example matches. Run as Java application, and you can see here the first thing that it printed was Deepika 200 and then unknown, and then the next one is Sam Manuel 300k and full-time employee, and then John Wick 500, and then the last thing is the contract employee. So this is called as method overriding. So method overloading happens within a class, whereas method overriding happens when there is a parent-child relationship and you have defined a method in the parent class and you have overridden that method, means redefined the method with the same syntax, everything same in the child class, also with additional attributes or with additional more functionality. That is called as method overriding. I hope the concept of method overloading and method overriding is crystal clear in your head, and I'm going to see you in the next video with another interview question. So stay tuned, and thank you very much.